We're here at Sony's press conference at IFA in Berlin, where they've just unveiled a new flagship smartphone, and it's the Xperia XZ3. Now, it's barely 6 months since they released the XZ2, so you might not be expecting too much new, but the headline feature is this is the first OLED display in a Sony smartphone. It's a QHD Plus with HDR support, and it looks absolutely stunning. And you really have to play some... Oh, I've set off the side touch feature there. You really have to play some movie content to see this. And this is going to be a great multimedia phone because they've also still got the dual front-facing speakers, 20% louder than they were on the last phone, and even above the noise of the show floor you can hear that a little bit. And they've still got their built-in kind of vibration, dynamic vibration thing, which is supposed to be immersive, but we find it a little bit distracting, to be honest. Now, the design's much the same. The design language is called Ambient Flow, and you can see it's extremely curved. Got a curved sort of 3D glass at the front here, which is 3D Gorilla Glass 5, I think. It's Gorilla Glass 5 on the back as well, which is also curved. And the frame itself is some sort of strong aluminum alloy. IP68 rated, so you don't have to worry about getting water on it. The fingerprint sensor is still kind of in the middle of the back. We would have preferred to see this moved up a little bit because the natural place for it on most other phones is exactly where the camera is. Speaking of the camera, this is the same 19 megapixel camera that was in the XZ2, and it's a very capable camera. Sony's great at making camera hardware, and the software is not so good, so it doesn't always get the best results. What they have beefed up on this phone is the front-facing camera, so selfie fans will be delighted. That's now a 13 megapixel camera. There are no real surprises inside. As you can see, it's the Sony UI. We're glad to hear that it's on top of Android 9 Pie, so that's good. USB-C port in the bottom. There aren't really any other ports on this phone. You've got your volume rocker there, power button there. You're going to have to go with Bluetooth headphones. Now, the internals are exactly what you'd expect. We're talking about a Snapdragon 845 with 4 gig of RAM. There's 64 gig of storage, and there is a micro SD card slot, so you can expand the storage if you need to. The glass back also allows it to support Qi wireless charging, and the battery is slightly bigger than the last one. I think it's 3,330 milliamp hours, so it's easily going to see you through even a busy day. It's a really nice phone to hold. It's quite tall, the 18:9 aspect ratio that's become very familiar now. These bezels have been slimmed down a bit, so the phone is maybe 5% bigger than its predecessor, but the screen's 11% bigger, so they have trimmed them down a bit, but they still look quite big for a phone in this day and age, although we're glad to see that Sony hasn't gone for a notch like everyone else. Because it's all glass and it's curvy, it's comfortable to hold, but it is slippery and it's going to be a fingerprint magnet, so we think you're going to want to get a case on this as soon as you can. Now, this is the black one. There are 3 other colours which you'll be able to check out in the photographs, and it looks to be a pretty excellent phone. It is coming to the States. You're going to be able to buy it directly from Amazon or Best Buy possibly, and it's going to cost you $900, which is a bit of a problem because that puts it in direct competition with phones like Samsung's Galaxy Note 9 and the iPhone 10. Now, this thing that's popped up here is the Side Sense, which is something Sony talks about in the AI feature. I'm not quite sure, it's just little shortcuts that pop up, but it doesn't seem to work every time. Another thing they mentioned was the side switch, so if you hold the phone up, it should automatically launch the camera. I'm not sure if you have to set that up first. And if we look in here, Sony have included their usual range of different camera modes, but Google Lens has also been built in. You will be able to pre-order this phone in September, and it should be shipping in October. And we will bring you a full review just as soon as we can get a proper hands-on and play with it in the wild.